verse 17 of the 9th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has been asked about fasting. Of course, that would involve the imposition of what were standard Old Covenant disciplines into the New Covenant regime. And Jesus, in principle, is objecting to such an imposition, calling attention to the fact that the application, for example, of a patch, a new patch on an old garment, if the patch has not yet been shrunk, if it's still brand new, then it's going to shrink and make the rip worse. And then in another well-known comparison, he has the use of wine, which we have here in verse 17. So ouda, this is neither nor or not even, variety of words. Here it's going to be neither, in contrast or in conjunction with the previous statement. Balusin, from balo, I cast, I throw, used in a variety of settings, third person plural, present active indicative. They put, or they cast, or they throw, neither do they. They here is generic. He's not referring to anyone in particular, just the people that are involved in such business enterprises. Neither do they cast or throw or put oinon, the word for wine. Standard wine, of course, commonly used in the ancient world, and this is the word that is applying to that same substance that Jesus himself created at the marriage in Cana. So neither do they put wine, neon. The word new here, which is an adjective, of course, is meaning anew as in vintage. This is going to be a wine newly created. It hasn't yet fermented. And so they don't put new wine, which still is going to ferment, of course, over time, ace into oskus, the plural accusative of oskos, which is translated a bottle. It's actually a leather bag into which wine would be placed. It would gradually become firm or hard over time. And of course, then it wouldn't accommodate for expansion if you put new wine into it. So that's the common experience that people had, and that's what Jesus alludes to. So neither do they put new wine into these leather bags. Pilaius, the adjective, means old, into old wineskins or old bags. That, of course, would not work. New wine in old bags is going to destroy the bags, as Jesus says. Here we have edamega. This is idiomatic. It is usually rendered lest. That's pretty good. Each of the individual words taken together doesn't really add up to anything overly meaningful here, but the four words together meant lest or perchance, something like that. Hregnuntai. This is from hregnumi, a me verb in the New Testament. This is a word that means to break or to burst. To split is the idea, and so that's what's combined here. It's a third person plural, present passive in form, and actually in meaning here too. So it's hoi askoi, same word as we had up here, only now in the nominative. The wines will burst or be burst, be broken, is the idea. Kai and hoi oinos, the wine. Eketai, this is from ekeo. It's based on the preposition ek, which means out of. It basically means to flow out of, and that's the idea here. So the wine is going to flow out. Kai hoi askoi, and the wine skins, again in the nominative, same as earlier. Apoluntai. From apolumi, it means to destroy. This is the third person plural present middle form indicative. They will be destroyed. So the common practice, of course, was to put new wine in new wineskins, and that's what Jesus is indicating here in connection with the contrast of old and new covenants. He continues, but, strong conjunction, balus, and they put oinon, the wine, neon, the new wine, ace, oskus, into wineskins. Kainus. Kainus is distinguished from neos here. Both mean new. Neus is especially used in terms of a new vintage, something freshly created. That sort of by kainus has to do with something that is untested yet or has not yet been used. And so it's applied in a little bit of a different way. It's synonymous, but a little bit of a distinction there. Kai amphoteroi. This means both, and it's based on a couple of roots here, but the basic ideas. And both, this is an adjective, both of them, referring to both the wineskins and the wine itself. Sun teruntai. Terao is to keep. Sun terao means to keep and preserve, to keep together, literally. So, of course, it's driving home the same point that Jesus made in connection with putting patches on new garments. There's something wholly new coming. That's the force of what Jesus has in mind. And we don't want to try to place into the new practices the common disciplines that were practiced in the old.